I'm Michelle Lightworker. After over 20 years in the holistic and spiritual development industry, I'm sniffing out who's promoting high vibes all over the globe. We want to show you where you can find high vibes anytime, anywhere, every day. It's Michelle Lightworker from High Vibe Hunter, and I am welcoming today Sand Mew from the Footprint Connection. Sand is a worldwide specialist reflexologist and feet reader, and she's also a purpose mentor, and amongst amazing other things that she's done, naturopathy and things like that. Welcome, Sand.
Thank you. Hi.
It's great to be here. I can't wait to hear and dig into the feet and understanding more about how they can help us connect with the high vibes.
Yes, for sure.
I'm really also looking forward to Sand giving me a foot reading, so that'll be cool.
Just a little one.
A little mini one.
I guess it started when I was tiny. I was like looking at my feet. I remember walking over a field of grass, and I walked and I was like, my feet are different. Why are they so wide? And I didn't like them. And I went to shoe shops with my mum and my sister, and they would like slip, into these high heels. They could try anything on and it all fitted, no matter if they liked them or not. And I just found it really hard to find shoes. And then I was like, why are mine so different? I'm the same family, why are mine different? And so that kind of stayed in the back of my mind. And then later when I learned about reflexology and my whole life took me sort of, on this path, I then learned more and more about feet, and I realized that all has a meaning. And the wide feet are actually more earth connected and more connection, looking for connection and needing connection. And so that kind of sent me off on a tangent to learn way more. So I work with empathetic change makers and practitioners and really empower them to connect with their unique gift, their unique purpose and their inner power, so that they can hold that space and that energy and pretty much, contribute what they've got to share and really create an aligned life and business, and that then fulfills their dreams but simultaneously contributes back to a way bigger shift in the world. And that's what I love. So usually my whole work is based on connecting them with who they are. So that means if there's fears or blockages there, which, they're usually there, we all have them, then we remove them by working with reflexology, with feet reading, with talking through things, but then also different clearing techniques. So in order to shift anything that's there that could block them from accessing who they are and their intuition and knowing what to do, so that they can really then start connecting with that self-love and that confidence and that knowledge and that clarity of who they are, so that they can then just move through those blocks themselves, really. That's kind of the ideal, like empowering them with tools so that they can shift them and then move forward and then really do what they need to do. So my sessions are usually either through the feet or just face-to-face, but generally I work through the feet. So feet, they give me just stories. So when I put my hands on their feet and touch them, I just get sort of this whole download of a feeling, and not just a feeling, a whole picture, a vision of this person, and I guess their full potential, you could call it. So I see visions flashing up straight away of things that they're meant to be doing, but also that are blocking them from doing that. So it's kind of a bit of both, and it's about really connecting them carefully first, checking in where they're at in their life. Then I might have already connected with certain gifts, but then other ones, and I'm making an example here, it's like sometimes you get people, and I get people that are totally disconnected from their gifts, and they think it's an absolute disgrace that they have them. They think like, oh my goodness, I'm so sensitive and it's such a bad thing and I always cry and I feel horrible. And I don't even know that it's actually their greatest gift that I could use in order to help people. They understand people so deeply, they connect with them so deeply that if they know how to shift from, seeing it as a burden to actually seeing it as a gift, it changes their whole life around. And doing this for the feet means I can work on their physical body, but then also on their emotional and spiritual, energetic body. And so it's kind of it's a holistic shift that's happening, a transformation. High vibrational frequencies in my language is connection. So first of all, we all need to lift and shift our vibration. I mean, I do that through thoughts in the morning straight away when I wake up, or I do that through dancing and connecting with my body. But just shifting your vibrations or your frequencies alone, I feel like people can get really easily lost up here too in the clouds, and they're totally airy-fairy, like disconnected. So I see that not as the most positive either. It needs to be a balance of both. So it's a connection to the upper realms, I guess, like that intuition, that input, that channeling the ideas and thoughts through, but then also about grounding them into the here, into this body, and into the life that we live. So I believe that we come into this world as a spirit that has a physical experience. So we are given this physical body that we've got, and we're supposed to be present in it. So that means by grounding our spirit and embodying our spirit in our physical body, we can then do what we're here for. It's really about embodying yourself in every given moment. And that allows you to ground yourself, to be centered, to hold your space. It allows you to be peaceful and calm and on track. It allows you to do anything that you need to do and live relationships or live the life that you want to live.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm just gonna. Do you actually know anything about reflexology?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, little bits of where things are located on the feet.
Yeah. So I guess just to give you a bit of an introduction, so reflexology is based on the theory that the whole body is represented in a map and image in the feet. So you got your head area up here, shoulders, lung area, abdominal area, and the pelvis is down here, and the spine runs through the middle. So it's exactly how I see you sitting here. So it's your right half of your body represented on your right foot, and your left half in your left foot. And so I'll be working pretty much from head to toe through your body, and I'm kind of journeying through your body. And that way I can pick up what's going on physically, but also emotionally and energetically. And for the purpose of just a little bit of a feet reading, so just looking at your toes, you got a lot of ideas and creative input that you're getting, and it needs to definitely get out into the world. So it's definitely more like that, that leader type personality. You do have a lot to express and share. So hence that second toe is very long. That's the expression toe. So speaking and on video is great, being in front of the camera or at least on the stage, some form of, being that star out there is great. So in that sense, you can see also that all the parts in you are working closely together, so that they're sort of all sitting nice and close. So there's not a gap where you don't really know what to choose or what to do. It's all working together in that sense. There is a certain, when people meet you, they meet you and they have this feeling that they already know you quite deeply, quite quickly. But then in saying that, there is still quite a lot of that inner circle, when you look at yourself, that core of yourself, hardly anyone meets that one. So it's you can meet you quite well and deeply, but that deeper inner circle of, or that inner bit of you, that takes a while to get to know. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in saying that, so it's kind of that I call them more like root and sacral chakra areas. They're sort of very private, so they stay in the background. But when you work with people, it's all about their intuition, who they are, about expressing themselves. There's a lot about self-love and finding that trust in life as well, and who they are, being really here. And then you kind of just need to share that, and that's a big message for the world. So that's why I guess you're in a really good position right now, because you're doing what you're doing. I can feel that you are very sensitive and empathetic, So that's perfect again with that.
Any blockages?
Well, I need to work deeper. So I guess like with the keeping certain things more internal, there's the question if that always serves you, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Yay.
I liked it. The thing I really love about what you do is you're going in through the feet where people are walking along their path literally, and you're actually focusing on their feet to help them to walk their purpose.
Yeah.
That's what I love about you, because I just go far out. This is like so intentional, like walking on this earth in this 3D world, but bringing that impulse of their purpose alive. I just love that. That's why you're here, sitting here with me.
Awesome. Our feet they just represent us in our entirety, and a lot of people, or most people, don't realize the connection between having this body part at the end of our body being totally, like you can touch my feet, they're so far away from my body. Well, no, they represent us in our entirety, and they speak about everything. They tell us where we're coming from, where we're going to, who we are, and
They're amazing.
Mm.
And I can't think of a higher vibrational frequency than walking our purpose.
Me neither.
Because, I've heard of people and also worked with people who have actually recovered from depression, from finding their purpose. And I think it's incredible work that you're doing to help people navigate their way to their purpose. And we're talking about in, this 5D world, navigating it means finding ways in which we can apply those high vibrational frequencies and energy to our life here. That's what it's all about, right?
It's all about now and how we're actually experiencing everything in our life right now. And when we connect to our purpose and our inner power, which is all what my work's all about, you feel the sense of calm and peace and on track. Everything starts flowing. You're excited about life when you get up. You have a bigger picture. You know why you're here. I mean, that's amazing,
It is.
And
it's
I just
incredible.
love that light that sparks up when people really connect to that.
Yeah, and like when you were saying before about, you feel that the high vibrations, what they mean to you is connection. And it is. It's about being connected with your body, walking this planet, being connected with your purpose, being connected so that you can actually, I believe in that sort of unity consciousness. What we're doing is we're saying, well, if I'm connected to everything, as I serve others, I'm serving me. So my purpose will help me to connect more with everybody else as well.
Yeah, it's all about inner connection so that you can then connect with your loved ones and your surrounding world, and then in the bigger sense to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the blockages that come up for people, they're often very personal.
Yeah.
And, we did like a little mini sort of reading where the blockage that came up for me was about, if you like, I have a big loud voice and able to communicate with a lot of people, but there's a part of myself that is held back, the core of myself, sometimes for some people.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing either. It's just that part of you is more private. So it doesn't have to be, out in the open. It doesn't have to be like that either.
Yeah.
So there's no right or wrong in this. This is just about you and your personality. So it doesn't have to be changed either.
Yeah.
In saying that, toes can change. So just to make an example, there's a gap between the big toe and the second toe. Some people have a big gap there and some people have pretty much none. So when I was little, I had no gap there. And what happened in my life was when someone would go, would you like to do that? I would be very clear in an instant if it was a yes or no. Later, I was always looking at my mum, who said yes one day, and maybe 3 days later she'd go, oh, you know what? I changed my mind. And I'd be like, oh, why? I got so frustrated. I was like, can't you just make up your mind and tell me then, So I was like, that's so interesting. Why do people struggle with that? And then later, when I started getting should I do this? Or this indecision kind of coming into my life, I was like, oh, what's going on? This is new to me. And I looked at my toes and I was like, oh, there's a gap forming.
Am I close together, are they?
Yeah, fairly close, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know, because I tend to make a decision quickly, and I know quickly, and I don't tend to have sort of a second thing kick in later. I don't.
Exactly.
So that's kind of interesting.
So it will help you to understand others. And when you see them and they have a gap there between their toes, always check their toes if you're expecting decisions and answers. Because what happens is you probably get impatient with people. And they go like, can't you just make up your mind? Yeah, that's what I used to be too.
On the phone, I should say to people when I'm asking them to submit content for 5D TV, I should say, can you just look down and check your toes for me? Just Well, thank you so much for joining me, because I've learnt a lot. Awesome. I could probably talk to you for another 3 hours. That's always a good sign.
Yes, it is.
But we have to kind of sign off. So thank you so much for joining us today. And we look forward to seeing more of you, I'm sure.
Thank you.